Hey there, friends. Let me tell you and preface this video by saying what a strange phenomenon. At the beginning, I talk about being Gemini, and let me tell you, Gemini must be an important heralding of the season coming in because we've been shifting from that era of Earth into plasma, a big dynamic shift. And so Taurus seems to be the flume, the doorway, the channel through which it is going to occur. You can watch my face if you stick on through for a while to see when I realize that it is actually Taurus and Taurian energy that, which I love, is totally out of the way from slowing it down until that moment of recognition begins to occur. So it is being able to look on through into the next session that we will be stepping into the next season. So just like our moons at the full moon looking through to the new moon, we're now stepping into Taurus, looking on through into Gemini. So enjoy this video and see how clearing out your emotional closet leads into your abundance of adventuring, health, and happiness. I love ya. And here it is. Hey there, Joy of the World friends and family. I'm Joy, here to take an intuitive peek into this Gemini season we have going on. What? Yes, we are the whole zodiac. We are all Gemini because when you look at your eye of God, your chart, the whole snapshot is there. You're the whole pie, baby. And that's what's been going on. That's what this channel is about, is your bold, bright, beautiful, whole self coming on in, all the things that afford you the fascination of who you are. So it's not just for Geminis, it's for Gemini season. And what I see coming in, it is time to be cleaning out the emotional closet. And what is that closet? It's the skin that we are in, our body. So we have this little indicator card coming on in here. Now we'll clear this in a minute and get to a bit of a read, but this indicator card of clearing out the things that annoy you, that bug you about yourself, that get on your nerves, because some reason, if they're still hanging around, it might not have been yours, or is just old news, old ways, and it's time to go, because what, baby, clock keeps ticking, wheels keep on turning. What wheel? Your wheel of fortune. That is what your chart is. Okay, so we got to get all cleared out of the way, baby, because happiness and adventure are on the way. Your true happiness, okay? And so it's talking about, let me see, I made a couple of notes. Yeah, it was talking about a strong, healthy new beginning coming on in for you. So let's get ready for that. So, we'll get a little bit of background of what's going on during this season, then we'll get a few specifics in the area, but it is a strong indication of love things coming on in. She is sitting underneath as the bottom of this cut, and the very top of the deck was the Emperor coming in. Divine order, divine connection, heaven on earth, the plasma settling in here. If you haven't been at the channel before, plasma is that new wave of energy coming on in, not just the era of air. When you hop on the Joy train, click the subscribe button down below. It is free as always. But when you hop on the Joy train, we are connecting to promises fulfilled. If we go into the era of air, that's just promises, that's just wind, that's just ideas. But we step into plasma, which is the Aquarian energy. It's water and air coming together. It's like the vocal cords. It's our centrality of truth. It is what produces. It is what yields. It is what is the fulfillment of our desires. So underneath this undergirding energy, as you can see, you might seem all swifty chicklet if you ain't looking over your shoulder, trying to act all peaceful, calm, cool, good. I'm living my best life. Because in the back of your mind is still this issue about the lovers. Either this is you here, friend. This is someone that's jealous of a past relationship having moved on, or it's simply, at bare minimum, it is a block to the lovers coming in, because this is the illustration of the lovers card in this cosmic tarot deck. So it's really getting on your last nerve is what I would say. It's definitely in the, very much in the section of Aries. It's in the belly. It's in the willpower. It's in the seat, the heat, that type of thing. But as we can see here, as it begins to heat open, it's going to blow you up. Because see, we had this apophyllite coming on in. Apophyllite, when it is heated, it begins to splinter, fragment, and blossom and open up. And then the centrality of who you are does become fragmented, scattered, obliterated, that type of ashy. Who likes to be ashy? I don't. Use some lotion, baby. So anyways, let's dip into this Queen of Swords a little bit more to find some specifics. But over here, the crystal cards were letting me know that this lover's energy that is trying to come your way. So if you're looking back, it's a problem. If you're looking ahead, pretending that this isn't bothering you, it's a problem. If you're acting like, oh, I'm good, living my best life, that's not the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Because there are other indicators here that your heart is desiring a different outcome, okay? Not with just that person. We're talking about your truth, your chart, your true identity, okay? Six of the Lovers, the sixth card coming on in here. So in our crystal cards, we show that it's coming as mind, body, and soul, because the rainbow fluorite definitely demonstrates that because of its properties of the Trinity coming on in. And here we have rose quartz and emerald showing up as the whole heart. It would look like this, okay? The earthen heart, very much the blood pumping heart of our body, which right now we're going through a season of circulation and blood heating up, that type of thing. And then the high heart, the heart of heaven coming on in, which is desires fulfilled. It goes beyond projection, rejection, all that kind of stuff, which is when we operate out of the mind. And that's why they want us to get down into the eyes of the heart and to give peace a chance. It's amazing. Because what's coming in where you could think you're living your best life, the reason why your soul, your body, your mind are still trying to tell you differently is you will move up a level when you release this old energy, okay? So clear out that emotional body. Now over here, what is a trip? Okay, friends. So we have, this is very much spirits, guides, angels, that type of thing, heaven itself guarding over your soul, your energy, your delight. It's aligning. It's talking about that aligning is divine timing. So our affirmation for this read that we're having here is, I trust divine timing. Okay. Because that's what's coming in. And the thing is sometimes when you've been going and spinning and working and holding and doing all that for so long, when the time finally comes, it's like, you're so used to working with your mind and conditions and other issues that there's a bit of uncertainty about that coming in. Okay. So here it's showing that up in this card as the Seven of Swords is like undermining yourself, that type of energy going on. And as you can see, the reiteration of the yellow, the moon mind, the gut, the indecisiveness playing out. But beneath the figure in this card, the Seven of Swords going on, we have a tremendous amount of fear. That's what this Ten of Wands is showing up. This has been building for quite some time, and I can see why, y'all, because these were just a spill. It was a fan. It was a story. It was like a film. When they come in sequence like that, it's like if you're old enough, I'm not going to say that word. If you're older like me, film used to have these little snapshots all put together, okay, to create the images. It's this fear of death, this fear of endings, the fear of what else could there be, because you let me know in this dream weaver's card over here that there was a dream you've been waiting on, that you've been trusting in, that you've been promised. And the thing is, we're now in the era of promises fulfilled, right? So hold on. Clean out your emotional body, okay? Because what you're showing me here, this is sacred. This is holy. That's what I want you to know. So it is being covered, okay? Also, something I was meditating on the other day, they were giving me the message that victory is imminent. And imminent doesn't just mean it will come. It means it is overhead. It is in the area. It is in the vicinity. So when old ripples, irritations, and these tides start to come, that triggers the environment around you to bring in irritations, delays, disappointments, that type of thing. So we're talking about setting the gauge and the dial of your attitude, and that's being ready to receive the incoming energy that you are about to shine, to come forth. Very much ruby. Also the crystals, we're talking about moving through these layers of like fractured families, generational curses, legacies, heredity, that type of thing going on, so that we update into our star body, our spiritual divinity, which is happiness. So, how do I know? Look, here comes the Ace of Cups. This is how it looks, y'all. Going from here, this undermining this beauty and divinity of who you are, undermining it, okay? Blocking it out, lingering around in a fear-based environment that is desolate and windswept, okay? Full of just old crumbs and crust and debris, bric-a-brac. Some of you might need to clean your floor, of your home, because this is the incoming energy. There's such abundance that will be overspilling and overflowing that you want all surfaces to be receptive. Okay. Now, let me get this all swept away and put aside, because I think the Dream Tarot wants to talk. Oh, now with that, here's what with the indicator, the aventurine and ametrine coming on in about that health and happiness and wholeness. This is what supplants that fracturing of those generational, the word curses, but heredity lines, things that were unconscious, subconscious, imprinting, that type of thing going on. So we're bringing in a whole new energy here. Let's step aside with this. Thank y'all for tuning in. Hope y'all are looking forward to this Gemini season, this season of summer. Let's get some new crystal clear clarity here. Crystal clear, you know, for Gemini season. Anyways, interpret kyanite. Oh, I absolutely love it. Where are you? I got my kyanite spears right here. I love them because generally kyanite is often rough, but I happen to like my kyanite smooth, which is wild. And a lot of other stones that typically are sold smooth, I like them rough. So this kyanite is very cleansing, and it moves quickly, and it doesn't want to grip or grab or catch hold of the debris. It's the ability to release, you're showing me, from the heart. Here they are again, effortlessly, in order to allow this energy to work. So you're showing up a lot like this, your truth. The kyanite, the truth of who you are, is clearing. And that clears this bugger out, right? Getting rid of the annoyances. So let me slip that back in there. Let's get some new information with this Frank Baum deck about the... Okay, so all that has been blocked down in your solar plexus, in your belly, in this Aries season, all this Mars energy that has been intensifying and going through, it's kind of brewing up what would seem a bit like a storm, an upheaval, an uproar, that type of energy. Let it move through you. But this is like chakra alignment, which is what that star card had been showing us earlier. It's coming from the ground up. That is where our provision is coming from. That is where the resetting of our spiritual DNA comes from, is from the earth. So these are things that we're asking to come in. But as you can see, because of the speed and the trajectory and your confidence here, you will not get swept away. There isn't dismemberment or destruction going on. It is like a vapor and a mist that passes right on through, and it's going to move through the area of the chest and the heart. Now, with that in comes the 10 of Wands. Interesting again. So I would say beware to not make anybody a target. Okay. This is a bit of brashness coming on in here that could make you want to eject and reject to the things that you used to tolerate that would come at you, to almost turn the tide of those and put them out of you. Either way is a stimulation of the environment that life goes, oh, let's circulate more rejection around them. Okay, we are the programmers, the creators of our life. So I would just simply say that little bit of the irritation, the sensitivity coming on through, the best thing to do is to take time to go outside, to diffuse, to temper down, to like let it downshift, that type of thing, to let the point shift to where there's clarity of mind coming in, and the energetic jolt, the emotional jolt doesn't continue to rob the situation. Okay, emotions and feelings are different. If y'all tune in here often, you know this is kind of like school. It's like spiritual 101 clarifying, really. Emotions or feelings that weren't dealt with at the time that they incurred. So because time and space move around them, we can get a distorted vision, perspective, that type of thing, because how are your eyeballs here in this moment, but yet back there where it was? So it can create these issues and these charges and these type of things that go on here, so that keep the wheel spinning backwards. We want our wheel of fortune to move forward, our eye of God, our chart to move forward, so that we dissipate and do away with all karma. Okay, these two seem to be coming in as pair. It's almost a sequence. Now, these have been shuffled plenty of times, so it's an absolute trip that the 5 of diamonds, 6 of diamonds, and 7 diamonds are coming on in. So what it's showing me here is when you allow that little bit of irritation to dissipate, knowing that it's leaving you, moving out and off, and you're not creating any energetic connection to it, it's just like popping the top on your soda. Those bubbles go up and out, right? But it's not calling in more of this type of energy to yourself. So just let it release, move out. I mean, going outdoors is one of the best ways to release that type of charge. But in quick order, you move through the pentacles, the 5, the 6, and the 7, moving on up in a stepwise manner. Almost like, generally, if you want to take 2 steps at a time for a workout, or you do something that has a little bit of precariousness to it, if you speed it up just a little bit and you see the sequence and you go ahead and see the finish line and you focus on that, that you're able to make this series of steps is what they're talking about here. And that will get you, yeah, because my nose is itching. That's definitely it. That will move you past any blockages or blockades. So you go from groundbreaking past any like red tape, hindrances, anything earthwise that could hold, yeah, because my nose keeps itching, earthwise that could be an impediment, okay, letting you know that you have everything you need, and then boom, here we arrive, and that's like Neptune and Pluto merging, shortening the distance there. So letting you know about the power of your mind. And not just of practicing laws of meditation and manifestation and the secret and all that kind of stuff. No, this is, remember, coming forth from the heart. Coming forth from your own divine truth. From the clearing of your chakras. From obtaining the power and permission to be yourself. That's part of what this is. That's the sacred key that's up here. The holiness is who you are. And I love it. Oh, 5 of Pentacles, woo, reiteration, baby. I'm gonna cluster those over there together. I don't know if I'll go back because I made such a mess, but who needs to know about that? You can't see down here. So, let's get a little bit more for Gemini. Let's find out a little bit about love, okay, for those who want to know about love here in this season. So it's coming out in a 3, and in a 3, I generally deal mind, body, and soul. Yeah, you're definitely, okay, so you're wanting to arch the crystal cards over it for an energetic read here. So in the mind, we have the Lord of Cups coming on in. The beginnings of the manifestation, because this really has to do with who we are is what we draw to us. What we practice is what we draw to us. That's why we allow this to release. So I would say synergize with life. So I'm allowing this new energy to come in, move through you, circulate through you, through some days, through some ways. That means ways of practice. I mean, practice could be anything from cooking yourself dinner to learning a new craft or a new creative project, anything like that that you might so desire. Practice loving yourself first. And this brings in magician energy. It begins to synergize and create the whole new palette of what you're willing to participate with. And I wouldn't say tolerate, because tolerance is a low energy. It's something that creates a clash and dissipates beauty, because beauty is the same on the inside as it is on the outside, right? So we want that synchronicity and that harmony going on there. Now, since we're talking about love, we're going to get a little bit of the True Heart Tarot. And I would say stand your ground, 2 of Swords. It's not love or money, friend. It's the and. Let it come on in. Come on down. Talk about let's go fly a kite. If it's a windy day, you know, just like over here, don't be disturbed. Don't be disturbed. That's what the immovableness in this card is. Do not be disturbed. Allow the energy to flow and move and become playful with it. Life is not out to get you. Life is not against you. By the 3 energy cards that came out, and those crystals of the emerald, the kyanite, and the rose quartz, they're all balanced and tempered and coordinated to one another, working in harmony, and they're actually looking towards each other, having discussions of how to get into agreement, not compromise, okay? To coordinate. That's a whole different energy there. So with the Lord of Cups, we have the 2 of Cups and the 6 of Wands coming on in. Bing, bing, bing. Come on down, said Bob Barker. If you watch Price is Right, back when I was growing up, Bob Barker was the host and not Drew Carey. I don't know who it is now. But look at this. Look at all these trinkets that you've been gathering for some time. This nest is your heart, friend. It's what you've stored up in your heart. Remember, we moved past the mind in the sense of the thinking mind. where intuition, projection, empath, that type of thing could show up there and be lodged in claw, because that's kind of where you're going through clearing out for a bit. But you can always trust your heart. Your heart is true and good. So in this case, there's a lot of little, was talking about, so juniper berry, invigorating, revitalizing type energy coming on in. You're moving it through the throat chakra. Talking about, for some of you, maybe some ceremonial teas that you might take to take a little time to sip and to breathe. And the thing is you don't have to drink anything. You can sip the air and breathe, but taking it in like through the mind's eye, through the nose, through the mouth, and down, and letting it sit and percolate in this rose quartz in the high heart region. Okay. And that's the thing, is the eyes of spirit are watching you. A lot of you, there is new totem energy assimilating at this time. Okay. That it's kind of been blasted out. Can you imagine? Because see, when these whirlwinds and things come in, they are drawing energy like a vacuum in order to cleanse and to clear. So get excited, get on board, be playful with that. Remember, go fly the kite. Get excited about this new energy coming on through, because it is not here to harm you nor hurt you. Life was already a bit of a rebel and a sham. It is here to launch you and to level you up into a whole new world, to know the power of your mind. All right. And that is coming forth from the heart first, up through your truth, and then into your mind's eye. Your mind's eye. It's taking your life back. Okay. And here it is an honor and a memorial. Okay. You're showing me it's kind of like a conjuncture between the present and the past. I mean, between the future and the past, becoming in the present. You've been able to make peace. Remember when emotions, oh my goodness, who you are. I love you. Woo, my nose never itches like that, but it is today. When you make peace with that part of your past, the emotional discharge goes out into the environment, and then you're able to come back down to planet Earth, what heaven on earth, no longer being moved about and driven about by those chaotic energies, trying to avoid and dodge this type of thing, because it's not going to obliterate you. It's going to be just fine. Move right on through you into this. Let it move about. There's something going on there. Something going on there. Let me ask one card. Who's got to talk here? True Heart Tarot? No. What is this thing called? Light Seers. That's right. They're saying the choice is yours. The choice is yours. What you pay attention to is what will grow. Okay? So just talking about put the seed in the ground, trust in, and take care of what you see before your eyes. Nurture life, not money. Nurture your life. Nurture yourself, and the love and money will come. Nurture yourself. Let things begin to grow in the environment around you, because this tree here is your tree of life. This is your heart. The beating, the earthen heart, okay, because it's coming in up under the emerald, to be able to be restored, recharged, all right, especially after a dissipation of that type of energy, moving on out. There's fresh wind, fresh fire coming in for you, friend. Okay, so that was mine. Here's our body. Now, the body was really talking about that emotional charge that was needing to move on through, and we have the Three of Wands. It might look blocked, might look blocked. All right, let's get it together and go in order, friend. Okay, let's let the horse get in front of your chart. Okay, like the horse before the cart, the horse before the chart. The self, the person, the alignment, the getting on board, and not fitting and fighting in the mind, because remember the card underneath the deck was the Two of Swords. Getting on board in peace, that life loves you. Love life back. Love life back. And watch how these doors, these ancient doors, open up. And this is the passageway where you were coming here along in this new unity of mind, and thinking that things were stumbling blocks were there, things were put in the way, blockages are all in the way, because you thought this was the way you're supposed to go. And this giant being, spirit, God, whatever, your chart is all up in the way, and things are working against you. It's not true. This is the door. Okay, this ancient wisdom. So for many of you, this wise, the origin of self, you're talking about your destiny, where you came from, in the knowing of self in the beginning. So who do we get here? I want to get a spiral of life on this. In the beginning. In the beginning, what did you create? By the book. So take a look at your chart. I use astro charts, because it doesn't give you all the words and the explanations. And it also gives it to me in a wheel, in an eye, the eye of God, so I can look at it and begin to see where your planetary placements are. Begin to see yourself as the whole eye, as the whole picture. And then you'll realize that you are more than enough. You're plenty. You're plenty, you're whole, you're complete, lacking in nothing. Now that has to go with the earth in practice. Okay, physically print out, look at it, take a look at yourself. 11 is what they're talking about, and it will begin to string things together for you. And this won't be some barren desert. This is them just crossing over from one place to another, coming out of the game and getting into the truth, the divinity, the creativity of life. No longer feeling played by your chart, but getting in alignment with it when you see yourself clearly. And I wouldn't spend a lot of time looking at the negative aspects of those, each sign and what your planet is there. But take time. If you only have a little bit of space to carry things, like these elephants, no matter how strong you are, you only have so much space to carry things without becoming a burden. Then focus on what are the assets, okay? Because if we're minding, it's kind of like this. When we mind our own business and taking care of our lives, we don't have time for somebody else's. So like if you're living in the values and the assets and the aspects of who you are, then you don't have time for those other things, to get in the lower energies, because you only have that one chair. It's like musical chairs. So if that chair is filled with the positive aspects, the things that are healthy and flourishing and divining and nurturing and nourishing of life, you don't have time for the others. So don't worry. Okay. So now we have another 2 coming on in, this time in the divine heart, the high heart, the kiss of heaven, and that's yin. Take it easy, relax. 2 and 3, another sequence coming on in. So once you do that, okay, once you kick out focusing on what you don't want to happen or what you don't like about yourself, and you begin to focus on what works for you, what you do enjoy, what kicks you off, what by that I mean gets the ball rolling, that type of thing, the way to spice it up, to enliven you, to effervesce you, that there isn't room or time or placement for the other. So we have yin in between worlds. It begins to make the necessary progress. So this is like the aligning and the merging. That's what happens when these 3 begin to work as one unit. It's kind of like a superpower. If any of you ever watch Transformers or Ghostbusters, when they cross the streams and they all get on there together, it becomes this superpower, just like over here when Neptune and Pluto come together. It's that merging of all these energies which brings heaven to earth, and it dusts off the old, and life becomes this vibrant illumination of who you are. Okay, there you are again, friend. I see you. Leave me a comment down below if that's you itching my nose. I love you. Okay, so in our soul, we have the 7 of Wands. I'll tell you, the words I'm hearing is it takes a little bit of time to cross this moat. But the main thing about the moat is it's more like being self-assured that things are going to go in your favor. But I would say from heart to heart, the important part here is that things are going to go. The movement begins to start. The chart can have some heaviness to it at times, very much as we're stepping into this Taurian energy. Why did I call this the Gemini read? This is Taurus. What a trip. No wonder they said putting the horse in front of the chart. So maybe y'all are like me, getting ahead of yourself. I'm telling you some pulse waves. Then that lets me know it is a good thing. Plasma has finally locked itself in, and the earth seed is being overwritten and fully moved out the back. Just as this part of the tire is moving forward, the other is moving behind. So that's what they're talking about here, is get into this opening on the shoulders, the poles, the polarity. With that, I want to get a divine animal oracle on the polarity going on here. Interesting stuff, y'all. What a trip. Already in Gemini. Let's see what's going on. So some of you are holding on to your peace. You're reserving your trust of it. But let me tell you, the peace is what enables the truth to come in. Can you see there? Finally let it go. finally surrendering. And what did this fall upon? This fell upon this gate, this opening, trusting that life loves you, trusting your path, your chart, that it is working for you and not against you. Why? Because on that 7 of Wands that we had here, which is the next sequence after this victory, remember, and the establishment of this new order, of your new totem, of your new alignment. Remember the star card that said, trust the divine timing? I trust divine timing. We have the honeybee card coming in, the abundance. And so this is the crowning of your mind, the crowning of your efforts, going back to this holiness, that trust, that purity of trust. That's why this is called the high heart. It is innocence, restoring your innocence. And the innocence is who we were when we took that look down and we created our chart and the paths and the whole zodiac, right, of who we are, that whole snapshot. It's almost like if you were taking a picture of a group of friends and you're arranging them around to where everybody fits in the shot. That's sort of what you were doing back over here, okay? So let me see the one. Oh yeah, the gorilla, the peace, incoming peace. Allow it to power up for you. Allow your innocence and your purity to power up. That is the yin and the receptivity that life is requiring. I want to say needs, they say requiring of you. That's not having to do with love, baby, because love is unconditional. That has to do with environment, and that brings in the prosperity, which increases your responsibility, but there will be a lot of help and assistance here on the map, and you will not be exhausted or wearied in this journey because you will be carried along life's path. This is the aligning of the star, the sun, and the moon, getting in the center of your chart, and that is the activation. The power button is what you're letting me know here. Okay. That brings in this whole new world. Everything that you've paid for, when you're wondering about this card over here, like, is it going to be left behind, swept out, and left in the past? Is that the emotional body? Because you're saying, I'm very attached to that. But let me tell you, want to know why you're attached? It's actually a part of you. It's a part of you. It's a part of you. Look at that. This city is your mind. It is a part of you. This is you bringing in heaven. That is what we have going on here. That's what the dreams of our heart is. That's the innocence of the trust that they're requiring and the receptivity that you know that you know that you know. So get out your own way is what they're saying. Okay, Taurus, let's open the path for Gemini is what they're talking about here. Because as that season fully turns, we've begun to get traction in this air of plasma because we've entered the first moon of the zodiac year. Cornucopia life. For many of you, you're going on a journey. You know, the state of the world has adapted, has changed enough, and people have adapted enough that they're feeling more comfortable moving about. So there's some fulfillment of dreams coming on in here. It's like, listen for the call, the sound of the spirit, like the blast of the trumpet is what you're talking about. And again, if there are any residual cobwebs or dust in the mind, just go ahead and comb them away. If you don't want to touch them, get one of those extend-a-wand dusters, put a Kleenex on a broom handle, whatever, and get them on out of here and toss it out the door. Because what you're about to receive, you've already paid for. The price has already been paid. Okay? Your whole self. You invested your whole self, the whole gamut. You did the work is what I know. Okay? The spiritual journey has been long, my friend. And it's time for the desert to become abundant, to become the oasis. No longer the mirage, but the oasis. So with that, we're getting a rune. Who's at the bottom? Regeneration. That's like, that rune to me is like when joy gets legs. Not this joy, y'all. Our joy, Wunjo, when it gets legs and it sprouts and we can begin to walk in it, and we have that power of choice, which is what it is. So don't get stuck or stranded here. Turn around, choose. You don't have to be alone anymore, left out. This is a mirage, okay? Step into the oasis, the truth, the trust. There's that pink, that goldness, it all coming aligning and divine, and that is your prosperity to join the human race. Yes. Movement, new dwelling, life, progress, transition, shifts, change, sun, and reassurance. Heavy on the shifts and the sun. So maybe take time out your day to go get in the sunshine for a minute on your break. When you're stressed, remember that discharging of this energy going out of doors. When you see the sunshine, Let it renew you. Let it revitalize you. That brings in this victory. Make time for a sunrise or a sunset, whatever it is, even if you get up a little bit earlier. Begin to take note of the consistency of that love that has been put here. The life-giving ball of fire that shines down on us. It didn't burn you to a crisp. Well, I mean, I got to put sunscreen on, but you get what I'm saying. It's not out to get you. That's not what this receptivity and surrender is about. In your peace, it's here to bless you, to activate you, to awaken you, to empower you. All right, friend, since this is Taurus season, show your love and support to the channel by clicking that like button down below. It gets YouTube all excited and shares this video with other people who might not get to see it without your vote, okay? And if you haven't already, click the subscribe button down below. It is free. As always, hop on this joy train. We're ready to have your dreams come true here. All the colors in the crayon box. What we're doing? We're coloring this world with love. Stop back by. Check out any of the videos. Even dated ones are all timeless. I love you. I believe in you. I believe in me. Hey, talk soon. Bye.